Okay, so this is a follow-on from my Zoom training. I've cut Mandy's hair using sort of the mullet or the shag techniques. As you can see, your fringe is coming very solid round here. And as we've dried it, then we've got the disconnection coming through this bottom bit here. As you can see, as it's dried, it's very heavy. And this is where your clients might sort of start to get, oh, hang on, I'm not sure. We've also got this bit here, which almost becomes like a dog's ear, as we used to call it. And you're now thinking, oh, what am I going to do with this? I'm starting to worry. Okay, but lucky for you, ta-da! I did Mandy's other side. So as you can see, we've got, let me just move this slightly out of the way if I can, just so you can see more of this actual haircut. So we've softened it off. We've still got the dog's ear, as we call it, down here, but this is now created, right, so this has now created that softness coming across there. We've still kept the disconnection, so I know you would be tempted to blend that. And as you can see, it's literally a short, beautiful, soft texturized haircut. And then we've got this length coming here. You can't quite see. So take some photographs, and we've got all this movement in texture. And this is where Mandy will make her decisions on whether she's going to keep it soft, whether she's going to go on more. Product. We need lots of product in this kind of haircut. It's meant to be really messy, forward onto the face, taking bits back, bringing bits forward, and it's up to that really. And you'll find a lot of them will take it off the face as well. This messiness, the fringe is very shattered, the softness is coming round. And if we took, this length off, you'd be like, actually, do you know what? I quite like just that simple haircut. It becomes more of a standard short. But then that length and that disconnection. I know it's so tempted for this dog ear bit here and for you to go, oh, as we look at it on this side, how blunt it does sit. It's easy as a hairdresser to become panicky about this shape and start to think, well, I did leave this for some disconnection, and now look what's happened. So this is when we start going in texturizing. And this is really a heavily textured haircut. We want movement in it. Mandy wants to mess around. She wants to get up in the morning. She wants to run her fingers through. She doesn't want to straighten her hair. She wants to use all of this natural wave, texture, movement that we've created in her hair, and she wants to use it and get out of bed and go, yeah, that's me for the day. This is not about being a perfect once this client comes to do it. So this is where this becomes really important, and this is where you start to personalize it to your client, and ask her opinion as well. Start asking her, how are you feeling? At this point, she would be feeling really scared. She'd be like, oh my Lord, I've come in for my haircut and I'm going to go out looking like I've got a basin. What am I going to do? But start reassuring her. You soften it. Still keeping that sort of bluntness, but we'll soften the line so you can see through it a bit. chipping into it, carving it. You know, already you can start to see this haircut coming as you're moving it and you're feeling it and you're running your fingers through it. You can start to enjoy this haircut. And I mean, this is going back to, I miss all of this. You know, it's not just about whacking sections of hair out and looking good when you watch all these YouTube and, you know, videos. Why are they doing this? What's going on? What are they trying to achieve with this? I mean, look at that already. I mean, even if she wanted to keep this a blunter, a haircut, we're achieving that already. And with the dog's ear, as we call it, bring it out and just slightly soften through that as you're bringing it forward. And as you can see, this starts to drop down and this becomes that section through here. So that dog's ear is already starting to move away from its original position. As we put more and more texture and movement in, you start to feel the haircut. Take away, you're shattering those blunt lines. You're not completely removing them. You still want that solid integrity of this haircut. But you're shattering constantly. As you can see, this starts to drop down. It starts to blend in. And it's already starting to create, if you can see, yeah, so it's starting to drop down. So the first photograph, it was sort of a bit panicky. And as we've gone on now, we're starting to see, as we go in here, and again, it's going in here, we'll soften. Yet again, more of Mandy's. And the same, you know, we're feeling the shapes getting, but around this section, it's looking heavy. So go in deep. You know, she doesn't want volume through this. She wants it to be flat to the back of it. She wants lift here. She doesn't want to have lots of bulk. And this is the reason why we did those round layers. You know, if we had lifted this up. Now, for most hairdressers, what we would do is you'd look at this and you'd go, hang on, right, short layers here, length here, right, I want to lift that up. What we've done is we've done a round and then disconnection. So that creates that softness coming through. If you want to chip into a crown, just don't start to create too many short bits on that top bit. Okay, so we put loads of texture in, loads of movement in. And now I will allow you the thinning scissors. So for thinning scissors, you need to be using them as a texturizing tool. Not using them as a thinning tool, use them as a texturizing tool. We just want to slightly remove that weight through that front section. But we don't want to be going too crazy and going in and thin through the hair. And so that's opening the face up. And creating that real texture. And that's, you want that movement. You know, we're going 80s, baby. This is what we're going. We're not going soft, natural. This is a mullet, you know. It's normally business in the front, and this is a very soft 80s hair look. And then party in the back. And if that's not movement, texture in the back, I don't know. And the same with, I mean, we didn't actually cut anything off this bottom length. For me, you can see that, yeah. For me, the length, we disconnected it. So her hair was originally this length. If her hair was further down and you feel like you wanted to connect it, you wanted to get rid of that. If you can, oh, there you go. Here we go, you can see there. So you wanted to disconnect, you wanted to connect it in through the back, sorry. She has a lot of hair, it's quite thick. You can visibly see this line. When the hair's finer, the line will disappear from the disconnection. But if her hair was very thick, you would see that definite line sitting there. So what you would do is take your center section, use that as a guide, twist it over, and then you would literally connect that. So this technique here means you can go from your short, so you can use it anywhere of the hair, and then through your long. So if the hair was longer, you're cutting it and you're visibly seeing where you're cutting. You're not just scoring down, you're visibly cutting the hair. And then as that comes down, that will then connect that all in. So same again, pull it out. Fingers in, twist around. You can see, it's hard to show. Yeah, and then short, too long. Once you get around the side bit, there really isn't much. And to be honest, I don't really want to be blending the sides in. And then point cuts. Same. Shortest bit to the long. It's very little on her hair, to be honest. And if you want to go into that as well, that's up to you. But I mean, this is the luxury. I mean, I've literally blasted her hair off. That's about as much blow drying techniques I've done on this. But as you can see, we've got a very soft haircut, and that shape through the back, that softness, so that your client still has all this length, which you can't quite see. So she still has all this length through the front, but it's taking a map off her face. And as you know, depending on how she wants, you know, a lot of the people they put a pattern in, you know, leave these bits coming down here, her fringe. I mean, I quite like it when it's really solid. I leave the front area really heavy, really solid. I like that because I'm old school. But then I would soften these side bits off. You know, put more of a pattern in the hair. So I'm going to style her how I think, and then we'll go from there, okay? Thank you.